All right, Poptastic Nation, thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about staying committed. And we're going to give you some helpful tips on about staying committed to help you for whatever your goal is of staying committed.
Stand by.
Thank you for joining us on the Be Poptastic Podcast. And for those of you that's joining us for the first time and you wondering what the heck is Poptastic and the Poptastic Podcast, well, we'll tell you. Right? So, before you can be Poptastic, you have to put the pop in the tastic. So, the first P represents positivity. And the O.
The O stands for optimistic.
Optimistic.
And then they go hand in hand. And then
the second P
is productivity.
Productivity. And if you can be positive, be optimistic, and productive, we guarantee that those are the keys to your success. So, just start.
And those are the keys to be Poptastic.
Exactly. So, Mike, sitting here, I'm thinking about, commitment, right? I was reading a book by Harv T. Eker.
You mean T. Harv Eker?
T. Harv Eker, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I get it always mixed up. But in that book, it was saying that most people want to be rich. Some have the desire to be rich. But there's not a lot of people out there that's committed to being rich. That commitment is one of the higher levels that it'll take in order to get you to that level of being committed. And that's just across the board, because when you're committed to something, no matter what you may face, any adversity that you may face, if you're committed, that means you're not giving up at all.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't finish the race first, second, or third, and you're coming fourth, you're committed to finishing that race. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Just staying committed and encouraging people out there to where whatever they're dedicating their time to, just stay committed. See it all the way through. No matter what you may face, make sure that you finish that race. Finish that race, go across the finish line, because at the end of the day, you'll still be a winner. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that I've got some good ideas as to like what number one should be.
Okay, what do you think? Write it down. Right?
Well,
write down.
Well, you're talking about a goal?
No. Write your commitment down, so that way you can. That way you can see it every day as a reminder of what you're being committed to.
So people sometimes they have on their screensaver of their phone. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's my Maserati.
There's my Maserati. Or it basically can be an affirmation as well, right?
Exactly.
It can be an affirmation. So that I would say write it down, make it visual, so that way you can always have that reminder. Because what happens is, you
affirm that commitment.
You affirm, right? And we know that there are going to be 100 different things for whatever you're thinking about being committed to. There's going to be so many other things, obstacles that's going to come up that's going to take you and get you distracted.
Absolutely.
From it. So if you can wake up every day to see that, hey, I'm committed to this, that kind of gives you that boost and that charge to go forward with your day. So no matter what you may face throughout that day, hey, I'm committed to this.
Absolutely.
So what do you think number two? I think that was number one. But
so I actually think that if you're committed to something and you're like all in, I'm doing it, you need to have patience.
Woo! So we're back at patience, right?
Back at patience. And we just gave you guys in another podcast, we gave you like the five tips about patience and being patient.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think patience is
so number
key.
2 goes with patience. So number 2 is patience. I agree with you. Because when you're committed to something, that means you're going to see it out no matter how long it takes.
Absolutely.
No matter how long it takes.
Like when I say I'm all in on something, I'm like, I am going to be crawling through the dirt, like on my elbows, and I'm crawling through that dirt as long as I need to make this happen.
Nice.
I'm taking, maybe number 3 is sacrifice.
Woo! Man, I'm going to have to high five you on that.
Oh!
Man, number 3, sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you committed to, and what are you willing to sacrifice in order to have the things that you really want in this life? I think a lot of people, it's easier said than done, right?
Totally.
Because a lot of people say, yeah, I'll sacrifice, I'll do, but then it's like when it's time to put in the work, right? They're really not putting in that work, or when they have to make a decision, some people will choose sleep over really getting the work done, to help them,
Yeah. Or I'm gonna go watch a football game for 3 hours instead of, and then I'm gonna complain about, oh well, I don't have enough money or I don't have enough sales. Well, you just spent 3-4 hours.
Absolutely.
And if you're gonna have all the guys come over, you spent how long cooking, how long
and preparing for
this,
it.
and then
Absolutely.
3-hour game. You just that's a day.
Yeah,
That's a day's worth of work.
So most definitely sacrifice, and I mean, mind you, let's think about commitment. Commitment, that can be in every genre of your life, right?
Totally.
Marriage, family, kids, work, business, whatever, school, right?
Parents, education.
Every area, it's about that commitment, right? And sacrifice was a big major key, to that. Because ultimately, when you're committed to something, you may can't watch TV, you may can't go to the game. You're being a parent. If it's that time and it's allotted, hey, it's time for me to be dad right now. So I have to be committed, and maybe I have to sacrifice not putting in work, or focusing on work, so that way I can give 110% to my children and be in the moment. So it is that sacrifice. Be willing to sacrifice and know that it's okay to make those sacrifices, because those sacrifices in the long term will be very beneficial for you in the end.
Absolutely.
Cool. Number 4, what you got?
Let me think about number 4.
I think I got number 4.
Okay, what you got?
Dedication.
Dedication,
right? If you're going to be committed, you have to be dedicated.
That kind of goes hand in hand.
It does go hand in hand, but I think ultimately you have to know, right, in order to say that I'm committed to something, and it does go hand in hand, but just know that that's the dedication, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's something about saying the word dedication. It's like if I have to die for this, I'm committed, I'm dedicated, I'm dedicated to making this happen.
I'm seeing this through.
Yep, I'm seeing it through no matter what, right? Kind of like 50 Cent. He said, get rich, die trying, right? That was kind of solid. I mean, you're going to get rich and you're going to die trying. At least you're trying.
There was something that Will Smith put out.
Okay.
He's like, if he's running on a treadmill and you get on the treadmill next to him, he will run on that treadmill to beat you, or he will die
trying.
You are not going to beat him. He is going to beat you, or he's going to die.
So that means he's not giving up no matter what.
He's not giving up no matter what.
So maybe that should be number 5.
Do not give up.
Do not give up. Do not give up. Okay, so number 5 is, if you're committed, don't give up.
I'm going to give you a number 6, but we can expand on the don't give up.
Okay. So when we go into this don't give up, right? The saying is, winners never quit and quitters never win.
Yeah.
Right? Or winners never quit and quitters never win.
Right.
That's solid. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're thinking about whatever you're committed to, whatever life, right? If you want to be a great parent, a great teacher, a great mother, great wife, great friend, and you're committed to this group, you want to be committed to becoming wealthy.
Yep.
You can't give up. You can't give up. You cannot quit. You just have to keep going. As you said from Will Smith, hey, if he's getting on that treadmill, he's not going to stop. He's not going to let somebody else beat him. He's going to die trying. Absolutely. That's that commitment. That's dedication. That's that sacrifice, right? And sometimes what happens, right? Yeah. It's mentally, right? Because it's mentally, psychologically, right? You have to program your mind to push. Mm-hmm. Your mind controls your body, and your mind is the strongest muscle in your body, right? You'll be surprised on how far you can go in this life if you get your mindset right. If you condition your mind. So whatever it is that you're thinking about committing to, just go wholeheartedly at it, Be sincere and honest with yourself, right? I mean, there's no sense of telling the world that you're committed to something and you know deep down you're only committed 70%, right? Be committed to things that you want to be. Don't worry about other people.
That's going to roll right into my number 6, my bonus.
All right, so here it is. No further ado. Share number 6 with us, Mike.
There is no plan B.
That's solid.
No plan B. If you are 100% committed to make your business grow, if you're 100% committed and dedicated and you're optimistic and you are thinking positive and you are planning to make this happen and you have a goal and you're 100% committed, there should be no plan B.
No plan B.
No plan B at all.
Solid. That's solid.
If you have a plan B, if you write a business plan and you have a plan B, then you're not committed.
You're not committed. Because ultimately that kind of shows that you're not going to give 110% to plan A. You're already thinking about.
You're already thinking about
the exit
leaving,
strategy.
quitting, exit strategy.
Yep.
Now, in business, when you're like, okay, I want to build this business, I want to get to this level, I want to sell it off, I want to exit the company after that, that's different. That's not what we're talking about. No. We're talking about, like, I'm going to shutter everything, sell everything, and walk away.
Right. You're quitting.
You're quitting.
You're quitting. Well, that's solid.
Like, it's hard work.
It's hard work.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Commitment is not easy. Whether it's your marriage, whether it's your kids, like, I mean, man, when kids grow up, get hit the terrible 2s and the terrible 5s and the 7s and the teens and you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, and I'm sure that my mom was like, oh, he's in his 20s and
right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's
work in progress.
But there's always work and there's always commitment, right? There's if you're committed to your kids, you work with them and deal with that stuff.
Yep.
And it's just those kids won't realize how much work you had to put in to put up with it all.
Exactly.
Until they get old enough with kids.